Welcome to Sanity Check, I'm Jack. It's been over a month since my first episode, and damn if a lot hasn't happened again. But because of that, I really wanted certain things to settle before making what probably has to be my most complicated and careful post, as it's mainly dominated by, you guessed it, the Epstein files. Trigger warning on all of it ahead of time. This is also messed up, but I try not to get too graphic, so for those of you who really want to make sense of it all like I do, please stick around. Because since our bombing of Iran has made searches for the Epstein files drop by 95%, in the name of both my hard-headedness and tendency towards self-sabotage, what better time for us to dive in? Also around this time that I wanted to post this, I suddenly got a mysterious illness. No, it was a sinus infection. It sucked. I don't want to talk about it. I want to talk about this video first. You may have seen this shot of Alex Pretti's altercation with ICE agents 11 days prior to his homicide by ICE agents. When I first saw this, it was on Facebook, mostly right-wing pages, in what I was sure then from how it looked was either an AI-generated video or an AI-enhanced video. While I'm now sure that it wasn't an AI-generated video, and while I'm still fairly convinced that what I saw originally was an AI-enhanced video, which had become a trend on a lot of Facebook pages. Here's one that enhanced Pretti without a beard. Now you can see why I'm using the air quotes. I can no longer be sure of that experience, because I tried finding one for this post and I couldn't find any, which either means that they'd all been reported, hopefully, or intentionally taken down. The version I saw had overly smooth surfaces and a taillight that didn't look real at all once it came out. Either way, by this point, a lot of people clearly had a similar experience to me, or more believed that the original was 100% AI generated. I've even seen friends of mine post stuff like this, like somewhat recently. And I mean, take a look, aren't Pretti's motions kind of uncanny? Well, I'm here to tell you that it did happen, why it happened, why it matters in Alex Pretti's homicide case, and how, if this method of media manipulation by these right-wing pages, which I'm sure have no connection at all to the administration, was intentional, it would be an example of a modified limited hangout. A limited hangout is jargon that developed from spies in the CIA, describing a tactic where a spy reveals, or sometimes volunteers, some piece of non-damaging information, falling short of revealing their cover or what they're really trying to hide. Often the public will find the non-damaging secret information so fascinating that the possible existence of any damaging information still being kept secret will be neglected or not considered. In the process of covering up the Watergate scandal in 1973, John Ehrlichman, a key domestic affairs advisor to President Richard Nixon, coined the term modified limited hangout during a recorded meeting.
You want sound? I got you sound.
Have you considered all other possibilities you see here? John, you're the one who is supposed to.
That's right.
You know the bodies.
I think we've had a good go-round on.
You think we want to go this route now and to let it hang out, so to speak.
Well, it isn't really that.
It's a limited hangout.
It's a limited hangout.
It's a modified limited hangout.
This is a defensive method of damage control, usually from large institutions or public figures, that involves admitting partial truths to shift blame onto others, or even including discoverable falsehoods in an attempt to taint the whole disclosure as dismissible. So in the case of Alex Pretti, seen here at other angles in an altercation with ICE 11 days before his homicide, the drop of this video is meant by those right-wing profiles to cast Alex in a more sinister light to their audience, disturbingly shifting the narrative to those inclined as to whether this homicide 11 days later was somehow justified. And if some of these videos were modified by AI, whether the incident had happened at all. These were indeed the reactions and conversations that dominated online spaces after this video had dropped, which left the true implications and questions this video brings forth conveniently idling on the table. Because you start to see three conversations we could have about this video. The two I just mentioned, protect them, the ICE agents who unalived him. And the other one, if we keep it in the conversation, could protect us. You see, there already have been many reported cases of ICE agents retaliating against observers, protesters, and critics in Minneapolis. Here's some reporting on it from the Marshall Project. And in my mind, there's no question that no one who just spits at an ICE agent or even kicks out an ICE agent's taillight deserves what happened to Alex Pretti 11 days later, particularly when you consider what Alex was reacting to that day.
On January 13th, on the way to my 39th appointment at Hennepin County's Traumatic Brain Injury Center, I encountered a traffic jam caused by ICE vehicles and no signs indicating how to get around it. I had not wanted to pull into a blocked, chaotic intersection, but verbally agreed to do so and rolled down my window after an agent yelled, "Move! I will break your effing window!" His first instruction. Agents on all sides of my vehicle yelled conflicting threats and instructions that I could not process while watching for pedestrians. Then the glass of the passenger side window flew across my face. I yelled, "I'm disabled," at the hands grabbing at me, and an agent said, "Too late."
This disabled woman had been dragged down the street from her car, in addition to children getting maced in the face that day. So the real question to ask about this video is not whether it's AI, not whether it reflects well on Alex Pretti. It's, are these agents in this video Jesus Jesse Ochoa and Raimundo Gutierrez, the two names that have been revealed as implicated in the unaliving of Alex Pretti 11 days later? And was it a targeted retaliation? You could also see Pretti's gun here, and then remember the ICE agent in gray grabbing that gun after they tackled him. We still don't know that ICE agent's name, only the two that are allegedly responsible for the 10 shots. But you see how the right, by framing the conversation, or the left, by asking the wrong questions, have already, either intentionally or unintentionally, run cover for these agents and the administration. That's how a modified limited hangout is meant to work.